Hello, this is Leslie Davis. An interesting show tonight. Guess who's with me? Kelvin Burns. Kelvin,
How you doing?
thanks for being with me here.
Thank you.
Kelvin is a guy I met several months ago, and you're from Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan.
What
yeah.
brought you to Minnesota?
Well, they told me it was good fishing here and good living. And I've been here about 13 years, going on 13 years.
Uh-huh. And what type of activities are you involved in?
Well, I could say I'm an activist. I talk to the young brothers about some of the things that's going on in the community.
Uh-huh.
You know, I do little ends and odd jobs, you know.
So you know what's going on in the community. You're a guy that's out there all the time.
Yes.
Where do you live?
I live south side. When I first came here, I was over in St. Paul, south side, over north, you know.
Uh-huh.
And you know, I feel that a little bit more could be done for us, the housing over north and the housing over south for us, the minorities in this community. What really bothers me, how we have blacks, Native Americans, whites sleeping under bridges and
Homeless people you're talking about?
You're sleeping under bridges, sleeping under bushes, and it's sub-zero weather. You know, I mean, year after year, I've seen this. Even
Well, nothing much worse than being homeless. Huh?
homeless.
Wow.
And what really bothers me, I've talked to the local congressman, and when I call,
That's Keith Ellison?
Keith Ellis, I never got a chance to talk to him again. You know, I saw him at the National Night Out. He seemed like a pretty cool brother.
Uh-huh.
But I never been able to get him on the phone. I've talked to representatives. Thing I want to address, we got American citizens living in the community under bridges, homeless people under bushes all year round. But we have people we bring in from thousands of miles away. They have housing for them before they even get here. And we taking better care of other people better than we taking care of our own. We taking care of people that really hate our guts. And I feel like it's unfair. I went up for housing twice, and I've been denied because they said I had a bad record. I haven't been in trouble in about 10, 11, 12 years.
Uh-huh.
And
That's what, Hennepin County?
Hennepin County. And so I've been up for housing twice, and they bring this up, I have a bad record, and they shut me down immediately. But you bring in people from other places, from Far East, the Middle East, and bring people in and
Africa,
and give them housing, and you have no real record on them. I mean, that's for me, no real record on these people. And you house them, you give them jobs, and the people, the citizens of this land, the Native Americans, the blacks, the whites, they living under bridges and under bushes, and it really bothers me. And I'm saying, what kind of government we running here when you take better care of people that's really hate America's guts?
Well, who's doing that? Is that Hennepin County?
Well, Hennepin County, they really hard on people from Detroit, Chicago, LA, New York. I mean, they really hard on you. They do a thorough search. They went 20 years on something I did 20 years ago, and it kept me from getting an apartment, low-income housing.
I see.
And then you bring people in from far off and give them housing, no problem. Money, you know, I'm not asking for money. I'm asking for a fair opportunity. I have rights, you know.
But you're entitled to money also from the county, don't they?
Well, they give you a little bit, you know, and it doesn't really help 200.
They used to give a lot more or something, but I guess so many people came
Right.
for the money and the benefits that they cut back on it, made it a little tougher.
Right. And I want to let the Somali community know I'm not mad at them because it's not their fault. I'm just saying that the people, the black people that's been here for hundreds of years, and the natives that's been here, and the whites that's been here, they have no place to live. I mean, every time I drive down the street, I'm seeing people living under bridges and under viaducts and under bushes and laying at bus stops, and I'm saying that should be a no-no, and these are American citizens.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's really crazy. So I'm saying American citizens should be taken care of first.
What do you think we're going to do about that or something? Okay, we raised the question, but how do you think we're going to get around that?
Well, I think we need to go to the polls and change some of these people that's in office. You know, when it's time to vote, get rid of some of these people that say that they looking out for American citizens. They not. It sounds good on the commercial. You know, like I don't want to put a few names out there. They on TV saying they looking out for the American citizens and they this and they that, and they're not doing nothing for us. It's a couple of organizations they come up to you and say, "Oh, we help for housing," and they lie to you. In fact, I can say, you know, I'm gonna say it. One of the organizations that came up to me several times, "Oh, we help out for housing." Mad dads. They do not help out for housing. Stop saying it if you don't help out for housing. You know, in the black community, especially from what I've seen, not all of us, but a lot of us just talk. They don't be about it. They don't be about it. They just talk about it. Be about it. Don't just talk about it. Don't just pray about it. Be about it. You know, and it's messed up. You know, I saw a guy the other day with a sign, "Jesus saved." You can stand out there till you turn blue. Jesus saved. He's saved.
Maybe he said maybe got a bank account or something at Wells Fargo.
Right. Jesus saved. Now.
At Wells Fargo.
Exactly. And my point is, you can stand out there till you turn blue with them signs. That don't mean nothing. The thing that you're going to have to do, the people with money, you're going to put that money together and build your own communities and make your own jobs. You can't keep begging people for jobs because they're not going to take the jobs from their people and give them to you. You got to make a job for yourself. You know, and I mean, you know, all this money that flourished through the community, you got to put that money together and build.
Well, you know, when I ran for governor, I contacted people like Al McFarlane of the Insight News.
Right.
Told them about my plan, you know, to get the nonviolent drug offenders, the brothers, out of jail.
Right.
Into a mentoring program.
Right.
So they could change, because what's needed today are lots of over-the-road long-haul truck drivers.
Right.
Good jobs.
That's right.
Put them in Dakota County Votech School.
Right.
For a lot less money than it costs to keep them in jail.
In jail, that's right.
So if you get 5 guys together and you get them a mentor, get them out of jail, and get them into a training program so they could become long-haul truck drivers, for example.
Right.
Jobs are ready waiting for them.
Exactly.
And they make between $1,000 and $1,500 a week. We need truck drivers, we need dental hygienists, we need dental technicians of various kinds. Say, well, what's the difference between a hygienist and a technician? They can do different kinds of work, you know, like the hygienist, they can kind of dig in your teeth, you know, and fix it up. With a technician, he might do more of molding for a false tooth, and things like that. There's a little distinction in the work. So they wouldn't report stuff. So I'm going to give him a little piece of publicity. If you read Insight News, let's see if I could find my camera here. This is Insight News.
Okay.
Al McFarlane is the head of that.
Okay.
Black guy.
Right.
You know, what I kind of said, you know, they might not like it. I said, you know, what do you get when you put a whole pile of crap together? You get Al McFarlane. So people didn't like me saying that. I said, but he didn't report that I was running for office. So I don't know how we're going to get the people you're talking about out of office.
Well, I would also like to let everybody know out here, I'm not just for black, I'm for poor people. Black, white, green, purple, Indian, whatever you might be, I'm for the poor. And I would like to let people know, it's in these days and time, racism exists. Okay, we know that. But you got something it's called classism. And classism is just as bad as racism. If you don't fit a certain class, rich black people don't want to be bothered with you. If you white and you don't fit a certain class, it's white people that don't want to be bothered with you. It's this thing called classism. And if you don't fit a certain class, these people will throw you away.
That's the money.
So it's about have and have-nots. Okay, racism exists, but this you can't, they got you focused just on racism, but this have and have-nots, they got to be just as bad as racism or worse in some cases. So it's about rich and poor, not what color you are. If you don't have no money, you messed up out here.
Yeah, because Michael Jordan, he don't have any problem hanging around with Larry Bird.
Exactly.
The Celtics.
Exactly.
Kind of like that, or Bill Russell and Larry Bird in the old days and stuff.
So this thing is deeper than color. During a recession, I seen black and white people and Native Americans eating out the garbage. So we got to not just stay focused on racism. We know it's there, but how about this classism? These rich people have the black poor people and the black and the poor white people fighting against each other. Why they do the rich black and white doing what they want to do, and they got y'all fighting at each other while they partying together?
Well, we got to get them some training and get them out of jail, some of the brothers, and clear their records, expunge their records is what.
Well, we got a lot of brothers in jail, but see, once you get out of prison, they bring, when you try to get an apartment, they bring these things back what you did 20 years ago. So, well, you can get it expunged. Well, you can get maybe a jail record expunged, but you can't get a prison record expunged. So I got a number with the Michigan State Penitentiary.
With the feds.
Well, that's the Michigan State. They'll never expunge it. Now, the little jail, you might get able to get that expunged, but you will never be able to get a prison record expunged. Michigan don't expunge prison records. Once you got that prison number in Michigan, it follows you for the rest of your life to the graveyard. So I was just telling, we need to work on our citizens, because if you don't educate your citizens and you got all these foreigners running your country, that's a threat to security right there.
So would you like people to call you or something if they want to kind of maybe get on board the Calvin Leslie bandwagon, you know, to help the poor? What I tried to, the media wouldn't report the ideas that I've been proposing. They need the poor, or what they call the underclass.
That's right.
Because it create all the jobs.
That's right.
For the middle class.
But the thing is, I tell people every day, just like I heard over on Broadway and Lindale, a very good preacher by the name of Reverend Mack, a very good preacher, very stand-up minister. They said they was out there marching and the police rolled up on them, and because he was saying there wasn't enough blacks out there working. They had too many whites out there working. And he's not the only one seeing that. And my thing is, split the work up. You got a black nation, you got a white nation, you got a native nation, you got a Mexican nation. Split the money. Share the money. There's plenty of money. Share the wealth, because if you don't make jobs, more crime. Less jobs, more crime. More jobs, less crime. And like the police chief say, well, let me talk to the prosecutor and make you get stiffer sentence. That ain't going to stop nothing. If you lock up 10, 20 more going to pop up somewhere else. The answer is you need jobs, you need programs, you need recreation centers, things that they can go to. They don't have nothing to do here.
Well, who's going to do that if they haven't done it until now? So that's what we're talking about. That's why I ran for office, to be able to create all those jobs and do those things.
You got to create jobs, and to be honest with you, not just Minnesota, all across the country, I don't believe that they really want to change anything. They say they want to change things. If you want to change things, stop sending the jobs overseas. Or if you're going to send the jobs overseas, tax them people on that money. And then that money that you tax those people overseas on, that got those companies out overseas, bring that money and help the poor community, not just the black community. We're talking about poor people, black, white, green, I don't care, the poor people. I'm for the poor. Power to the people, poor people. Because black people ain't the only ones poor. Like I say, during that recession, I seen white folks eating out the garbage, black. So we got to get out of that thing about color. This thing is deep. And if we keep just focusing on this color thing, while these rich people do their thing, we allow them to get away while we focus on just the racism. No.
We want to keep the status quo because it's good for them.
Right.
The people that are wealthy or have gotten wealthy is because of
poor people. And I was telling a white guy months ago, it's not about color. I said, we got racism, we know that. It's about the have and have-nots. If you don't have no money, I don't care if you black, white, whatever you might be, Jewish, whatever. If you don't have no money, these people don't want to be bothered with you. They will see you out there starving. It ain't about, this thing is deeper than color.
Well, that's what my whole campaign was about. Money secrets. There's a whole book. Where money comes from and how it comes into circulation and all.
Right.
And my plans, I had the money plan of how we were going to do that and put the people to work. And the newspaper, they're really the problem. I think in America, it's the news people, the media, what I call the Minnesota media scum. They wouldn't report my campaign. So I'm kind of with Kelvin. We're trying to recruit people. Maybe we could get a little bit of a movement going.
Poor people. See, I was telling people all the time, a lot of the black movements out there was whites behind it. Like the organization I belong to, which they're not even allowed to have service in the Michigan State Penitentiary no more because they said it was a black racist group. It's called the Melanik Islamic Palace of the Rising Sun.
What do you call them?
The Melanik Islamic Palace of the Rising Sun. The Michigan State Penitentiary called it a racist group and stopped them from having service. But the Melanik Islamic Palace of the Rising Sun was a black movement, but it was also had white supporters. We was for the people, not just black people, white people. We for poor people. Okay, and they leaned on the brothers up there for about 3 months, and they got the COs got beat down up there. This a place called Earth in the Upper Peninsula got beat down, and then after they got beat down, they called a group a black racist group and stopped them from having service. And they haven't had service for 12 years. Took their religious garments and everything, and they still not having service. And the thing is, what I'm getting at, they want you to think like they want you to think. They want you to believe in what you want to believe in. If you're not under their faith, then they say it's a gang or it's a racist group. But this group was to help black and white people, mankind.
Mm-hmm.
See?
All right, well, so we know the problems. We know the problems, economical, and within the economics, there are people that are racist and they feel that way. But that's okay. If somebody doesn't like black, because I know that a lot of, I ride the bus in Minneapolis a lot, and oftentimes I may be the only white person on the bus. And I feel a lot of hate coming at me, that I feel that people don't like me on the bus, not because they don't even know who I am or what I am, but I'm a white person, like their bus or something, I feel that, and I don't know why the leadership doesn't talk about people getting along, Why don't we all get along and kind of look at somebody, because you could see right away that's a black guy. And I'll tell you something about me. I'm in North Minneapolis, and it's not easy for a white guy in North Minneapolis to stay safe. I don't have a car, so I ride down on my bike to the Cub food store and all.
Right.
And I'm really aware of what time it is and which street I'm taking. And if I see 3, 4, two's okay, but if I see 3, 4 black guys in the street, I'm not going to go on that side of the street.
Well, one of
them's going to hit me.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If I see 4 or 5 black guys I'm going to go on the other side of the street. If I see 4 or 5 white guys on the street, I'm going to click over
So
because
it shouldn't be like
because they outnumber me.
Yeah.
Not, see, I tell everybody all the time. I watch everybody, black, white,
I
orange.
guess you're right.
Everybody full of sin. You got some white guys out here jump you and take you out. But
just for the fun of it.
That's for the fun of it.
For the fun of it.
So you got. I tell people all the time. You got snakes in every nationality. You got black snakes. You got white snakes. You got red snakes. A snake is a snake. A snake is poison no matter what color he is. But like I say, I wouldn't care what. It could be 5 Asian guys. If I'm gonna get over just to see, wear it out. I watch everybody.